If you love comic books, you'll love comicspriceguide.com, the world's largest comic book price guide. Basic membership is free, and you'll have access to an amazing message board with a fantastic community of your fellow collectors. You can also upload your comic book inventory and manage its value in real time. Learn more about your favorite comics with their database of over 950,000 comics. It's a great place to sell, buy, or trade comics. So celebrate being a geek and sign up for comicspriceguide.com today. Looking for highly entertaining pop culture podcasts with high production values? Then check out the Journey into Comics podcast network at journeyintocomics.com. Nate Phillips and his crew deliver an amazing variety of downloadable podcasts on a variety of pop culture subjects, from comic books to entertaining with friends, from Doctor Who to professional wrestling. If you have a geek interest, the Journey into Comics podcast network is made just for you. For a complete downloadable selection of their shows, go to journeyintocomics.com. You can also subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, and Stitcher Radio. So, for an incredible selection of pop culture podcasts that consistently deliver insight and humor, check out journeyintocomics.com today.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
There we go. Notice that pants are optional. I knew I'd get unmuted eventually. Good morning. Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore for Friday, September 11th, 2020. Yeah, 19th anniversary, right? Anyway, we're going to get through Friday together, all right? You and me both. Anyway, thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore. We appreciate your attention. And if you're on Facebook, please like this broadcast. And if you're watching... please share this with your friends so they can see all the great links that we're going to be showing the next hour or two. Who knows how long this show will run? I never do. Anyway, and if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to our page, give this video a like, and ring that bell so you'll be notified of future appearances by me. Because we're going to be starting some those new videos I keep threatening you people with. Anyway, we're going to be starting those very, very soon. And this show is brought to you by geekinsider.com and risingtide.pub. Hope y'all having a fantastic Friday. Kind of cloudy, but a bit cooler. And you may need to adjust your sound a little because we've been playing with ours. And we're trying to improve the look and sound all the time. So thank you for your patience and your kind attentions. Let's get to your comments right off the bat. Teresa Dunn watching from YouTube. Good morning, mwah. And glad to have you here. And everyone who's watching us fresh or on the reruns, we're always happy to see you here. And Magi Jake Caretaker, hello, hi my friend, how are you? I am awesome, Jake. How the heck are you this morning? Hope you're doing well. And Bill Sarden has a question here, it seems. Good morning, Brian and Nevermorians. I have a question thought for everyone. With everything that's been going on so far this year, I wonder if people still remember the horrors that happened 19 years ago today. Well, I do. It's one of those moments that I think every generation has a moment where you remember, like just every FedEx truck drove by outside, distracted me, where you remember every bleeping thing that happened to you on that day because it was so catastrophic. As you all know or should remember, today is the 19th anniversary of what has become called 9/11. The worst terrorist attack on America on American soil. I remember everything that I was doing at the time because at the time I still worked for the water company. In fact, I had just gotten there as a full-time employee. And let's see. The night before, I'd seen a special on one of the cable channels about that plane that crashed into the side of the Empire State Building by accident. And the initial reports of what I heard on my way as I was getting out the door and on my way to work was it happened again. And I was just thinking some small Piper Cub type airplane had slammed into the side of the Twin Towers. And then I get to work and everybody is distraught. And I'm like, what is going on? And soon we find out the start of the horror that was to come. So anyway, if anyone wants to share their 9/11 memories this morning, it might be a good way to do it. It might be a good place to do it anyway. But let's all remember the people who lost their lives that day and the people who have died to make sure it won't happen again. All right. And Brian Wenzoff is here. Good to see you, Brian. And hello, everyone. So Brian, we're still waiting for that OF calendar. Good. Patience is a virtue. I intend to keep you all virtuous. Anyway. I don't know that the world's ready for me in some sort of state of lack of absence of clothing, you know. I don't even know how Cookie does it every night. So I don't even come on here without my shirt, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of a bear rug with nipples, if you know what I mean. And Pops Van Zandt, let's please change the subject. Anyway, Pops Van Zandt, how far behind can we get him before he shows up? I'm already in the weeds, man. I'm already, as we record this, 4 minutes behind. But Pops, always a pleasure to see you. And Brian Wenzoff, always a pleasure, my friend. And Bill Sarn, glad to see you all here. And Teresa Dunn. And let's see here. Hello, all. The madness is watching. Pops Van Zandt, glad to have you here. Don't forget, CromCon 7 will be happening soon, so we will carry the announcements for that happily because Pops puts on a hell of a great monthly convention. That's pretty awesome, and lots of good stuff on there, too. So please, please, please check out Pops Van Zandt. Subscribe to the madness. Hey, Pops, put in a link to your CromCon page, if you would, and let everybody know how dang awesome you are, dude. And Ted Davies, oh, brother, you know it. Good morning. Oh, brother Ted, good to see you, my friend. And I'm not talking the TV sitcom. Hope you're having a covfefe-filled morning. Yeah, what you got there, all those icons there on the screen, that ain't enough, brother. I'm thinking it's going to be a long day today. I got a lot to do. And Bill Sarden starts out the day right. Coffee from Ted Davies and bring Cookie home. She's downstairs right now. And health update, she's still having little twinges from that muscle pull under her ribs from a couple weeks ago, but she has reported dutifully every day to work after the initial couple days off for the injury. And she's still digging her job. She's loving it, and it makes her happy. And it's so nice to see her come in the door at the end of a workday and not be exhausted. You know what I'm saying? And Carleen from YouTube says, hello all. Mwah, to you, Carly. Hey, don't forget tonight, Carleen, and Uncle Carl Witzman will be on the Secret Humor page, Uncle Carl's Secret Humor page, that is. And they're going to have the Green Room tonight, I think. And that's always a good time, so please check it out. Please join us there. I'm hoping to be there myself. And good morning. morning, everyone from Facebook. There is the man himself, the man, the legend, the voice you heard earlier for comicspriceguide.com and Journey into Comics, Mr. Carl Witzman. Glad to have you here as always, Carl. And he is well, I don't know what we would call it. By audiencing or whatever. Anyway, sounds good. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, we finally, here's a little thing. We found out that this computer had been, I wasn't real happy with the sound, but I noticed that I went into the settings and noticed that the laptop microphone was the primary one for these shows somehow. So we did some tinkering and finally got this beauty back up to speed. Now I have to project a little more, but that doesn't seem to be a problem for me. Anyway, and yes, I know I've got email, and yes, I know they back that thing. I've got on this computer, I have notices for my email, and every now and then, I just got notice of something I put up an hour ago. Come on, computer, catch up. Of course, I did on the other faster computer. So anyway, here's a frightening glimpse behind the scenes at Nevermind the Furthermore that none of you asked for. But anyway, I'm glad we sound better, Carl. But anyway, we got the my beauty here to start working and took off the breath shield, hopefully to improve the sound quality again. The thing is, there's a reason why when I do these shows, I frequently have here's a broadcasting tip. I frequently have the microphone pointed towards my mouth, but not like this way. That prevents peas popping, you know. It prevents that little burst of air that sometimes makes listening to shows a little unpleasant. I'm going to be doing something for an upcoming virtual con where I talk about better broadcasting practices and just a way to make your own broadcast sound and look better, in my humble opinion. But it seems to bear out. Oh, and by the way, got to thank everyone for your support. Last night, our YouTube page passed 120 subscribers, isn't it? I'm over the moon. I really am. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. And I hope if you haven't, that you will please join us. Like I said, we're going to be doing some special content pretty soon. We finally got some ideas and some scripts are starting to take form. It's going to be a little more scripted than this show is. You can't make up this show. Hard as you can try, you won't make up this show. So anyway, thank you, Carl. I'm glad we sound better. And Magi Jake Caretaker says it'll be awesome meeting you at the con. Well, Jake, I am looking forward to seeing you there. And the convention he's talking about is non-con, which is going to be I believe 26th and 27th. I left my notebook downstairs. 26th and 27th of September. Keith Age, the fantastic paranormal expert, along with his friend Jason, they're putting this together. It's going to be a really fun show. We're doing it at a school in Middletown, Ohio, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump from Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be in an old haunted school there. That's going to be interesting. And not only am I going to be there as a guest, we are also going to be graced with the presences of Amy Hale, author Amy Hale, who we are going to get back on Clever Title Pending some Tuesday night. And also we are going to have Charles F. Millhouse, who we interviewed last Tuesday on Clever Title Pending. We hope if you haven't checked that out already, please watch that show. That show was really, really fun. And it is one of our best performing shows on Clever Title Pending. It is up there with the Amy Hill episode and the Kadrosha Ona Carol extravaganzas, but all of them do well. I'm very pleased with Clever Title Pending. So please check it out. If you're on YouTube, we have a playlist with our recent episodes. Just scroll down to the bottom, and I think that's where you'll find the Clever Title Pending with Charles F. Millhouse. But anyway, yes, we'll be joined by Amy Hale, Charles F. Millhouse, John B. Pica, Big Daddy Cool himself will be there, and Magi Jake Caretaker will be there, plus a few of our other friends. We understand a couple more are checking their schedules, and as soon as they commit, I will let you know. But anyway, that's a whole bunch of our peers there, and we're looking forward to just being able to spend some time in the same place together. Holy cats, that's going to be fantastic. Plus, we'll have books, and I've got new swag, so you got to come down and buy something. Anyway, Carl, says Pops Van Sant. I don't know what Pops is warning Carl about. Probably me. But anyway, get your cigar in hand, says Ted Davies, and get ready to smoke that thing. And he's laughing at me with another installment of Ted and Carl's Cigar Show on YouTube. Please check that out. That is a fun show. I have a greater appreciation of cigars now, thanks to Ted Davies and Carl Witzman. They are a great, interesting team. I love watching that show. So please check it out on YouTube, all right? It is really, really good, and they are fantastic. Also, check out Ted Davies Artistry. You'll find it on the Ted Davies Artistry page on channel, I should say. It's a channel, baby, on YouTube. And also check out TedDaviesArtistry.com. on the interwebs, and Ted Davies Artistry on Facebook. I think I got all of them. Anyway, back to your comments. FedEx. Yep, that's me, Carl. Attention span of a housefly. So that's me. And Andy Imlay, good morning from our hospital room. Continued positive thoughts and prayers, please. Our beautiful Diana was born on Tuesday evening. I saw that. I meant to leave congratulations. Oh, man. But keep the positive thoughts coming for Megan as well during this difficult situation. Yes, Andy and Megan Imlay, we love you too, by the way, Andy. Both. That's from me and Cookie. Their first daughter, their first child was born a little bit early, and quite a tiny thing. And so please keep Andy and Megan Imlay in your thoughts and prayers this morning, and keep us posted, Andy. We love you, man. We sincerely love you. And Magi J Caretaker says, my dad was flying 200 people on that day. He was told by his boss, get the F on the ground. We're under attack. I was working with a man. His name's Gene. And we'd gotten to be good friends when I was a temp for the water agency, water company, a couple of years prior. And he was on his way to Florida to interview for a potential job at one of the Disney outlets, because my friend Gene not only had experience in water, but also gas delivery as well. And I'm not talking about Wicked Wednesday following Taco Tuesday. But anyway, he said he was about an hour from his home driving to Florida, and he had the radio on, and he started hearing the initial reports, and said the minute he heard that, he got on the first off ramp and turned right around, went for home. He said he knew there would be no interview that weekend. And sure enough, of course, Disneyland went into lockdown for security reasons. And, we keep talking about, anyway, thank you, Magi Jake, for sharing that. But we talk about the new normal that may be coming around because of the My Sharona, Miley Cyrus, Peter pandemic. And I keep telling people, I think in my opinion, we're going to have a new normal, because you think about it, we've never really been the same since 9/11. It has changed how the utilities deal with their customers. It's changed how the airlines have operated. I mean, back in the day, I can remember, you got your ticket, you checked in at the gate, you dropped off your luggage, you went through the security, and then you walked on through to the plane and you got on fairly quickly. Now you have to get there about 2 hours before because you don't know what the lines are like because of security, because of the TSA things they have to do. And I have to admit that it changed me in a number of ways in that I am a lot more security conscious now because I was one of the people in charge of the water supply. And no matter what you think about internet or even electricity, water is the one utility you must have. You can get by without electricity. You can sure as hell get along without cable TV. But you got to have water in order to stay alive, in order to clean yourself, in order to clean your environment. And we were in charge of it. It isn't widely known, but a number of us underwent terrorist training. If we're ever in a active shooter situation, I'm the guy you want to follow. And it was kind of funny because Cookie was working for a restaurant at the time in Champaign. Their corporate office was in Portland, Oregon. And she was invited to go out, and I took a few days off to go with her. And it was like 2 months after 9/11. And everyone was asking me, said, "Aren't you afraid to fly?" And I'm like, I've never been more confident. It's going to be the most secure air flight I will probably ever take for the rest of my life. And I was right, because like immediately someone would stand up to go to the restroom. Every eye was watching them and getting there. You could tell they were like making a description and everything. And air marshals treated you a little bit differently. Several years later, Cookie and I went to the San Diego Comic-Con, and as we were flying out of Dallas to go to hit San Diego, some guy insisted on staying on his cell phone so he could narrate his amazing journey to whoever was on the other end. And this rather athletic-looking air steward came up to him and said, "Sir, please turn off your phone. The pilot has requested all electronics be turned off." And the guy says, "I don't have to do that. I want to stay on my phone. I want to talk to people." And this is happening like right across the aisle from me. And the air marshal leaned down and got that tone of voice and said, "You will shut that off right now." And the timbre of his voice made me realize he could probably pick up that phone and crush it in his bare hand. So, and needless to say, the guy turned off his phone. So anyway, but yeah, our lives have changed since 2001. It's just that we've got a generation now, think about it, we've got people that are in probably they're in college and they were too young to remember 9/11. There are people exiting high school right now that this is a page in their history book. So, but then again, I remember Kennedy's assassination. I remember the Challenger explosion. A lot of events. We've all got that generational thing going. But anyway, let's go back to your comments. Enough about me. I'm sick of me already. Anyway, Rick Bradley says, "Good morning, Nevermorians." Good morning to you, Rick Bradley. Hope you are doing well, superstar. And David Atkins says, "I put a notice on social media asking to name one person who died aiding those who were trapped or died, but few could. Thought we said we would not forget, but memories are short-lived these days." I have no one that died either as a victim or as a first responder, so I couldn't even participate in that, David. But we've all been affected by that. So anyway, that's a good notice to put up and a good way to remember, David. Thank you for that. Pops Van Zandt says, CromCon 7 in the madness. And you got to check it out. He's got a page there for the CromCon. Check it out. Great conversation, great guests. And looking forward to the next one, Pops. Loving what you're doing, brother. And loving what Nick Tucker does. Good to see you. And he's going to be on tonight with his instructions on fencing and weaponry on YouTube tonight, and I hope he puts up a link for that. All right. Anyway, Nick Tucker says, "Good morning, Good morning, Nevermorians." That's us. Yes, I remember that day with crystal clarity. I think this year we need to focus heavily on the spirit of unity and heroism that came from it, and seek joy to spite those who try to instill terror. I agree, and I think positivity is the best way to get back at them. And work to help others. Be a first responder when someone needs love, right? Yesterday was Suicide Awareness Day, and I want to thank in particular Amy Hale and Jackie Nelson, two good friends of mine who shared their stories online. And I've attempted suicide too. I make no bones about it. One of the few times I'm glad I screwed up. But anyway, going from there into a remembrance of 9/11, we got to remember to be good to the people around us and to be there when they need us, because that is the best rising tide we could get. And Joe McKeel says, morning to you, Joe. Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you. And don't forget, tomorrow night is Stupid O'Clock. It's also a page on Facebook that you've got to go give a like to. You really do. Anyway, Joe and his friends have a fantastic show on Fridays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. Eastern on Fridays and 11 p.m. for the after hours discussion that you all love to get into. Yeah, seriously, I'm a science geek. Those guys talk science and pop culture, and I am there. I love watching the show. I swear I'm going to stay up late and join you guys one day. Jeffrey Hayes, good morning. A very talented artist. Plasma Fire Graphics on the interwebs and on Facebook. Good morning, all. Yes, without political overtones. I'll never forget 9/11. Make it a great Friday for all the loved ones in your lives. Thank you, brother. Thank you for those great words. And that's the thing. It doesn't have to be political. It does not have to be political. And the more I talk politics, the less I like them. And God bless him. There's Brian Rodman. Hell, good morning, my fellow Brian, my fellow Nevermorians, of which you are definitely one, my friend. Hope everyone is more prepared for today than I am. I just woke up. Haven't slept in that much in a very long time. Oh, man, but doesn't it feel good every now and then? I have to say one nice thing about Cookie working late shift is I haven't set my alarm in about 2 weeks, because last week she didn't get scheduled at her other job, glad to say, which gave her time to recover a bit. But she and I didn't set our alarms in the last week and a half, and we're like, oh yeah, this is good. Getting up naturally, rolling out when you get enough sleep. What's that like? And now we found out, and I want more. Yeah, I get you. And some days I'm more prepared than others. So Brian, I feel your pain, and I drink your cafefe. Anyway, hope you have a fantastic day, Brian. Glad to see you here as always. And Carl Witzman, mics can be fickle. Thuffer and Thuckatash. Yes, they can be finkle indeed. And I'm not talking about Howard Finkel from the WWF. It's more in my system. We have a dedicated computer now for broadcasting, and it's not as fast as the other one, but it also doesn't hang up as much either. I think the other one tries too hard. But anyway, Mark Lerner, just saw you pop in there. Good to have you. Oh, by the way, Mark, I got the other letter last night. Thank you very much. Mark is my copy editor on the whole Rising Tide line. Oh man. Anyway, he's got a lot of stuff to go through, and it was good talking to you the other day too. It did me a lot of good. And anyway, glad to see you here. And David Atkins from YouTube says, everyone has mentioned their favorite books and comic heroes. I want to ask, what art piece, whether online or not, has inspired you to do something or create something? Old comic covers inspired me. David Atkins, old comic covers inspire me too. Pardon me. I'm going to wash that hand later. Anyway. Swab. Behind the scenes. This is why this should be a podcast, not a live show. Anyway, I dig old comic covers. I do too. And Trevor Hawkins, who frequently shows up here now, dear friend, great cover artist, great artist, period. He did a painting for me a couple years. There's a classic image from Superman first series, number 76. It was the first time he and Batman teamed up ever. Yeah. And it was the origin of the world's finest team. Well, anyway, there is an iconic cover, the top of this burning building There is Lois Lane trapped in this ring of flames. And, of course, down swoops the Man of Steel saying, "This is a job for Superman." But swinging in from the right-hand side of the picture is, "No, this is a job for Batman." And it's a beautiful cover from Kurt Swan. And I think John Fischetti at that time, who went on to become a very popular editorial cartoonist after his comic book days. But anyway, I had Trevor redo that, and he put his own unique, amazing twist on it. And it's the same setting, but it's Clark Kent on top of that burning building, and down swoops his cousin Supergirl in the classic Al Plastino Jim Mooney garb, saying, "This is a job for Supergirl." And in from the right swings Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and it is fantastic. I'm gonna get a scan of those one of these days and show all you folks. Anyway, and yay, Brian! Well, yay back at you, Carly. Mwah. And Magi J Carpenter says, but anyway, what art inspires you, guys and gals? Anyway, Magi J Caretaker says, "I'll be performing magic at Non-Com 5 and selling T-shirts at my booth." Well, and I will be there. We will have our line of books. We will also be having probably a "Thank God We're Out of the House" sale. Who knows? We've been doing something where you buy a couple books, I'll knock a little off the price. And we'll probably do that for Non-Con too. So if you're in the Southern Ohio area on the 26th and 27th, the last Saturday and Sunday of September, please come see us. Admission is free, and there are still tables available if you want to hang out in a haunted schoolhouse, which, of course, I sure as hell do. So anyway, please check out Non-Com. It is going to be a fantastic time. And speaking of fantastic, there's my friend Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. As always, a delight and an honor to have you here. Happy Friday, everyone. Have a wonderful and productive weekend. And go to TyroneTonyReedJr.com and check out what this amazing man does. Thank you very much, Tyrone, for being here. And hope to see you sometime on the road soon. Hope this lifts so we can get together, man. And Joe McKeel says, "Just crawling out of bed, need covfefe, be back in a few." We understand that. We really do, oddly enough. We do have some empathy for you. Just in case someone wonders if we have any human feelings at all. That was one. Anyway, folks, let's vamp a little while Joe gets his coffee. What do you all say?
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, IndieVolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
All right, yeah, definitely check out Randy Zimmerman and that fantastic Indie Volt show about old good time comics. Check out that show. Randy is a veteran creator of comics. In fact, on the far left side of the base graphic, you saw a comic book called Spank the Monkey. It's not what you think. It's not what you hope. But it is a very funny title about a monkey named Spank and his amusing adventures. I hear it refers to something else, but I'm too innocent to know what it is. But anyway, check out that show on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Indie Volt family of broadcasts. And now getting back to your comments, David Atkins says, "My most inspiring art piece that I remember was one of the very first vampire comics from the early 70s. Great imagery. I can't find it again, but been looking. Wish I could find it and be amazed again." David, go on eBay. Your chances are you'll find it. Also, there is a site called mycomicshop.com. And it's run by Chuck Rosansky of Mile High Comics, and he's got a huge selection of back issues. So you might want to check that out, too, if you want to get that comic in your grubbies once again. And Teresa Dunn from Facebook says, "Today is a day to remember not only 9/11, but it was also the string of events that happened afterwards. Thousands and thousands of lives would change forever. Lives were ended and lives were shared. Most of all, America took charge and control in rebuilding America as a team. God saw what went on and people were praised. Continue to move onward and forward, America. We are the beautiful. Amen. Good words, Teresa. Thank you for sharing that with us. Very cool. And let's see, I've got something from Brian Rodman next. Let's get that in position. And there we go. Hey, everyone, check out the Dastardly Dingoes podcast with myself and the amazing Jeremy Woodring as we kick off our second season of the show. We talk about all things nerdy and interview some amazing creators. You're not going to want to miss this. I know I won't. I've seen some of that, and that's a fun little show there. So check out the Dastardly Dingoes podcast with Brian Rodman and Jeremy Woodring and their guests, one of whom I'm told will be on soon at Wears a Fez. But it's not Carl Witzman. What the hell? Anyway, Carleen says, I had a friend who was supposed to have a job interview in one of the towers and was in New York for it, but it was canceled the day before. So she was being a tourist far from the towers when it happened. Wow. Oh, man. That's what goes through your mind when you think about that. I think that qualifies as a close call. God bless your friend, Carly. Wow. And Teresa Dunn changes the subject and probably welcome. So I know most of you are suffering from complete boredom, but you don't have to be. Why not go to Amazon.com and order her book, Poetry Expressions by Teresa Dunn? You'll be amazed how reading poetry can take your mind off of COVID-19 and other problems. So go ahead. I dare you to give it a try. Teresa has hurled the gauntlet, so take her up on it. All right. Magi Jake Caretaker says, when my dad flies commercial planes when it was happening, my mom rushed to my school when I was 3. She said, Jake's dad is safe, but the towers were attacked. I said, what towers other than I only remember seeing Bush coming on saying this is war. Yeah. Well, 3 years old. That's quite a memory to have in your early finals, Jake. Wow. That's, the thing was I was in my 30s when that happened. So, I'd have been in my 40s by then. So, 40s, but that's still a moment that you just don't forget. You never forget certain, where you're at, what you were doing when you hear of catastrophes like that. Like I remember where I was when I first heard that John Lennon had died, or Elvis Presley, people I looked up to. I remember when I got the news about David Bowie passing away. And speaking of passing away, please keep the family of Dame Diana Rigg in your prayers. Diana Rigg passed away from cancer a couple days ago. She was surrounded with family and friends at the time. Her daughter, Rachel Sterling, is an actress. The two actually appeared together in an episode of Doctor Who. And I think it's maybe the only time the two had performed together. And it turned out the writer of the episode, Mark Gatiss, it was one of the Matt Smith episodes. I think the 10th one with Jenna Coleman. Anyway, Mark Gatiss and Diana Rigg had shared the stage at one point because Mark Gatiss is not only a very talented writer, he's also an actor as well. And Diana told him, well, I've never, my daughter is coming up in the ranks and I've never been able to work with her. So he rewrote his Doctor Who script so that both of them had a role in it. So, which was kind of sweet. But anyway, a lot of us, of the, the more silver-haired generation remember Diana, of course, as the iconic Emma Peel from the original TV show, The Avengers. Nothing to do with Thor and Tony Stark. We're talking Steed Peel here. And she's also been in some amazing films over the years. She's also the only woman who married James Bond. She played Tracy in on Her Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby. Really great role. And I remember her from other films like The Assassination Bureau with Oliver Reed and Telly Savalas, and Hospital with George C. Scott. Just an incredible actress, an incredible talent, and we are the lesser for her passing. But anyway, she meant a lot to a lot of us. And some of us in not very wholesome ways. But anyway, because she was a looker. But here's a story that not many people know. If you have heard of Emma Peel, I read this in a book years ago that the production team were deciding what to do. Honor Blackman had just left to become Pussy Galore in Goldfinger. And she was the most popular Avengers girl at that time, but they needed a replacement. So the production team were putting together ideas of what they should be looking for in a new companion. And I think it was the costume designer was writing on a pad of paper saying the qualities this new character, who was at that time unnamed, needed to have. And one was, she wrote down male appeal, but she wrote it down as M appeal. And that's where they got the character's name. So anyway, we'll miss her. We'll miss Diana Rigg, but she left behind a great body of work for us all. Joe McKeel, there are kids in college that this is a page in a history book. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's like, my generation. World War II was the same way. Korea was the same way. My father was in Korea, and all it was a couple of anecdotes and some stories in a history book for me. Because I didn't live through it. I didn't have that personal connection. And Joe, I love your avatar there, man. That is beautiful. And let's see what else. And hello to our new friend on on YouTube there. I wish I could pronounce your name, but I would mess it up. But anyway, people who are not messed up and are awesome, also watching from YouTube. There's Michaela Jade. Well, hello there. My phone is being a butthole. Wherever you are, shut up, Christian. So I'm only getting bits and pieces of your voice, but I'll take it. Well, I will take anything you want to give me, Michaela. Anyway, Michaela just lost all control yesterday and said she would love to be a guest on Clever Title Pending, and she will be. We've got some really cool shows this coming Tuesday. We've got Luke Stone, who is I think about almost 60% of the way through his Indiegogo campaign for the trade paperback of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. Please give that some support, because I would love to see that thing come out, because I pledged for it, and I hope you do too. But anyway, Michaela will be one of our upcoming guests, along with, like I said, Luke Stone, and who else have we got? I wish I'd brought my notebook. Jim Beard will be joining us. Jim Beard is the creator of great new pulp people like Sergeant Janus, and also was the publisher and co-editor of Quest for the Space Gods. When I got to write a character of his, Conrad von Honig, who I loved. That was so much fun. But anyway, we've got some really cool guests. We're lining up more as the weeks unfold. And so please make Clever Title Pending on Tuesday nights a habit where you can join in the conversation and you get to interrogate my guest. How about that? You can ask Michaela Jade questions, at which point now Michaela, every sphincter is closing with an audible snap. And anyway, Michaela, we love you. Mwah. We hope you have a good weekend, hun. And we're glad that we're in your pocket this morning. Oh, yeah. And Nick Talker says, tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, I will be doing my live show on the Historical Fencing Guild, including a live unboxing of a non-metal neck knife. Ooh, and new sword news. Now that sounds cool. Check out the Historical Fencing Guild. I usually catch it on the reruns. Great show. Fantastic show. And Nick is a wonderful host, and swear to God, dude, we got to get FezCon before the end of the year. We really do, if only for ourselves, right? And Carl Westman says, good morning, Michaela. What about a butthole? What? Oh, now Carl is paying attention. And Christian somewhere right now, his ears are burning going, why am I not there? And Trevor Hawkins has joined us looking pretty in pink. Hello, says Trevor. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are going to have a great weekend. You deserve it, man. And Philip Thompson, glad to have you here. Morning, and the cover I showed you is fog. Okay. It didn't, when I'm looking at a small illustration like that, Philip, it doesn't always come through, but I still think you need to enrich those colors in the center only for eye appeal. Okay. Because the fog can part and they can have a glimpse of maybe where they're to go, but still it closes and they're in trouble again. Philip Thompson's working on the cover of his book, and he asked my opinion. And we all know what happens when you ask my opinion. You're likely to get it. Anyway, please check out Philip Thompson's work. He's working on his first book. I think it's your first book, right? And it looks really cool. He's a great talent. You're going to be hearing a lot from this man one day soon. And speaking of hearing from very talented people, there's Jessica Johnson. Mwah. Good morning, everyone, she says from Facebook, and we're glad to have you here. She's also telling us that, hey, there's a thing called the Heroes for Kids out of Perrysville, Mo. It's a great cosplay group that use their incredible super cosplay powers to benefit the kids in the community. So please, if you are running a con, check out the Heroes for Kids and get them over to your show. And if you are attending a show, please give these people some love. They are so cool. I love them. And probably my favorite Harley is with the group. And of course, we can't forget Batman as hard as we try. But anyway, Dennis will love hearing that. But anyway, please check out the Heroes for Kids. Check out their pictures. They are fantastic. Plus, they have a number of pop culture collectibles that you'll only find with them. And the money goes to benefit the kids in the community. So that's important. They're giving back. All right. And Jessica also next year is having Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. We had to skip out 2020 as you know, it wasn't just me, it was everyone. But anyway, they're going to be coming back strong in 2021 in Perrysville, Missouri. Great community and a great show. Looking forward to that. And here we go. Trevor Hawkins says Volcana was inspired by a Mary Marvel cover. That's right. That is true. Trevor and I, when we were putting together Volcana, and I will get excited, Michaela, I'm whipping it out. My cover of Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, available now on Amazon and Smashwords.com. In fact, if you check out the QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you will see it will lead you to my author page. Well, anyway, Trevor based this on an old Mary Marvel cover. Although that V, I think, was taken from a Captain Marvel Jr. cover. But anyway, Trevor did a fantastic job of blending those elements together, and that's a darn good book, in my opinion. I like it. And in fact, I'm going to be working on the sequel later this year or early next. And here we go. Carl Wisman says, author Michaela Jade, there is a promotion for her Warrior Secret Elite Warrior, first in the series. Check it out. She's a incredible talent. She is a fantastic writer, and Carl's a fantastic writer too. Carl put a link to the Mad Gasser Cheerleader of Calhoun County, a great read from Lulu.com. You're fantastic, Carl, but you got to talk about yourself. I demand it. Anyway, check out Michaela Jade. We do. So moving on, there's Trevor Hawkins is giving me a smiley face, and we get one back. And actually, Cap Jr. Yeah, see, I ID'd it. I was right. But no, Trevor and I discussed that we liked the old 40s comic book covers that had nothing to do with the interior, but were kind of patriotic, kind of inspirational, where like the hero is standing, like, say, on a mountaintop. I also remember one with, I think it was Wiz Comics with Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, with his hand on Billy Batson's shoulder, continuity be damned, and standing on a mountaintop. And then there's a classic one of Superman with an eagle perched on his forearm, looking all patriotic and everything. So yeah, we love those old covers. So David Atkins, you're not the only one that gets some mojo from those things too. And speaking of mojo, there is the possessor of major mighty mojo. There is Eric Hawkins. Morning, folks. Eric, like I said, it was good to see you on that podcast last night. They were talking comics history. If you want to put in a link to that so people can see you looking at the camera, that would be great. No, Eric is an incredible talent. Please go to Indiegogo and check out his store there. You can still get a copy of the first 2 issues of the Zombiful World of Oz. It is the best indie comic out there, as far as I'm concerned. To all my friends doing indie comics, I love you, but this one is just super special. I'm a big cheerleader for it, and it doesn't hurt that the second issue, he like more than doubled the page count of story, and illustrated a story by me in there, where we go to a very dark place in Brian's psyche. And Eric gets to draw women in bathtubs. Anyway, David Atkins, the worst thing about AI is when a phone falls in love with the owner, sending bad texts to his girlfriend, starts becoming possessive and gets him fired from his job to spend more time with him and more. It happens to us all, David. I'm sorry it happened to you. But if Cookie finds out about my girlfriend, good Lord, I'm in trouble. Anyway, let's get back to your comments here while David's phone is acting up on him. Joe McKeel says, okay, back now to savor the blood of the Arabica bean. Oh, yeah, Arabica. You got that right. And it's funny. I remember back in the day when Robusta was the bean. But the thing is, it takes, I think it takes the Robusta coffee bean something like 7 years to fully mature, which is why in periods of recent history, we've had like a genuine coffee shortage. And, you know, and if that doesn't make you, if that doesn't make you weep and wail, I don't know what will. But anyway, then they switched to Arabica, which has a much quicker growing rate, but it still has a very, very full flavor. So I'm a happy boy. We have coffee. We have lots of coffee, and we drink lots of coffee. My doctor once said, you know, your blood pressure is quite elevated. I think you should drop coffee from your diet. And I said, you know, at the time it was a lady. I said, lady doctor, if I drop coffee, you don't want to see what my blood pressure will be like then. It will be high. Anyway, my ultimate favorite comic, says David Atkins, is the Two of Dracula, back when the art was pulp and very engulfing. Same with Vampirella. I was in love with horror from long ago. It explains so much about me. You mean about us, David. I loved Vampirella. Love that beautiful Jose Gonzalez art. Although the original was by Tom Sutton. And yeah, Tomb of Dracula with that beautiful artwork by Gene Colan. I mean, I've seen other artists do Dracula, the Marvel Dracula, but Gene was the dean. He really was. And especially when they settled in on Tom Palmer as his inker. Tom Palmer is one of my favorite inkers ever. I love what he has done over the years with, you know, Gene Colan, for instance. Also, not just on Tomb of Dracula, but also a run of Daredevil. I also loved Palmer's inks on the fantastic year's worth of the original X-Men with Neil Adams pencils and Roy Thomas scripts, with one by Danny O'Neill. And also, hold on a second here. Now we got the mute button working. Anyway, we also, what else? Great run of the Avengers off and on with John Buscema. I just never saw a bad ink job from Palmer, and I never saw a bad art job from Gene Colan. And the funny thing is, when he stopped getting so much work from Marvel due to editorial shifts, he went over to Archie. And he actually, it still had that distinct Colan layout flavor, but he managed to capture Archie. It was brilliant. And there was a TV show in the late 90s called Return to Riverdale, which I think you can find on YouTube. And he did the comic book adaptation of it. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. But yeah, Tomb of Dracula, one of the greatest comic runs ever. Marv Wolfman, Gene Colan, and Tom Palmer. Although the first couple issues were by Jerry Conway, and then the next two were by veteran author Gardner F. Fox. Yes, I've spent too much time reading funny books. Anyway, Joe McKeel, okay, back. Okay, and now he's drinking that bean. Good man, good man. And I would plug Carly's book, too, but the link isn't working again. Dang it, says Carl Witzman. Well, you know, and it's important to give these ladies a good plug-in. You know, I know they appreciate it. And, well, great, Carl. Yeah, I know. Leave it to a guy, right? Thank God I'm not one. Anyway, Paul Roof, good morning. Paul, good to see you, man. Subscribe to your new channel on YouTube, and everyone else should, too. Please put in a link to that, Paul, if you would, all right? And Carl Witzman said, I think it's because it's marked adult content, and Lulu doesn't consider me an adult. Well, what is the old song? You're just tall, that's all. It won't let me do it either. Anyway, John B. Pica joins us. Good morning, Multiverse. John B. Pica, glad you're here. Looking forward to seeing you, man, at NonCon 5, the last weekend of September in Middletown, Ohio. we're going to have a good time. I know you're only going to be there Saturday, but it's going to be a grand Saturday for us all. And thinking about 9/11, it has been as long ago for kids born today as the Korean War was for me. Yeah, that's true, because you are younger than I am. Let me think. Well, actually, the funny thing is the Korean War is still going on. Neither side declared an end to it, as far as I know. So it may be one of the longest running conflicts on the globe right now. Anyway, Magi J Caretaker says, I got 16 magic tricks I'm bringing to the con. If you guys see me, feel free to come up and say hi to me. Okay, I will. And Bill Thompson says, new cover page with fonts. GPEG, somebody on Fiverr did my cover for free. What do you think? I liked it. I liked the overall cover. I just had a few tweaks that I would have them do. And new cover page with fonts and GPEG. Well, okay, cool. Well, I can't see it right now. And actually the thing is, right now is a terrible time to ask me to do business. To be honest with you. Yeah, I get people who come on and like bust my chops on something that could be done offline, and I resent it highly. Or they come on, that doesn't happen that often, fortunately. Or somebody is like, hey, I'm trying to call you right now, and it's like, you. So it's like your phone call to me is paltry and insignificant. I am entertaining the masses, so shut up and go away. And somebody I never want to go away is the lovely and desirable Jennifer Dixon. Mwah! Jennifer, just saw you show up. Love you, hon. Hope everything is going well in the Dixon household. Love you, sweetie. Cookie and I miss you. We gotta bump elbows or something this time, sometime soon. John B. Pica, I decided to go live this AM to talk about 9/11, only to find out that I am banned from advertising and doing live video for 30 days because of a meme I posted making fun of Nazis. Well, that'll teach you to make fun of Nazis. We make fun of Nazis all the time. God, what? That's insane. And John, that is why we're spending a lot more time on YouTube, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, Facebook has the reach for some of us who are trying to promote. So, dang it. Anyway, John, I'm sorry, man, but we'll figure out a way to get out that message. And you leave those Nazis alone, young man. Quit teasing them, okay? Golly. Anyway, Jeffrey Hayes joins us and says 25 days to go on the Kickstarter campaign for Mechanoid Press's War on Monster Earth, created by authors James Palmer and Jim Beard. Seriously, Jeffrey, yes, Jeffrey, if you don't mind, would you PM me that link? I will support that, because Jim Beard's my buddy. I keep teasing him. It's like, you're Jim Beard, It's like, I admire his work so very much, and I love Sergeant Janus. I mean, that is one of the. If you haven't read it yet, Jim has just released the third book, and I am so tickled to know Jim. And it was such a pleasure working with him and John C. Bruning on Quest for the Space Gods, and might have some news on that later. Who knows? Anyway, please check that out. And I bet that's got a spiffy cover, Jeffrey. Would I be wrong on that? But anyway, you should consider helping fund this anthology book. Awesome rewards for each level of funding. Check it out. I will. I really want to support that. Because I like supporting indie creators, independent creators. I'm going to call them independent creators. And new cover page with fonts. Okay, Philip, I'll look at it later. Christian Basil and Sarah missed all the morning fun. Well, they've missed the first 59 minutes of this broadcast extravaganza. But there is still time. They can still join us. In fact, we will... what is the term? Yeah, we'll vamp a little. Speaking of things you should probably be supporting, here is another.
New from Terraform Comics, Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
Yes, please check out that trade paperback. There's a lot of great levels on that, some fantastic variant covers, and even a holofoil edition that I'm supporting, and it's going to be a great book. If you've got the original 5-issue series, including the variant cover from the extremely talented and devilishly handsome Ted Davies, then you don't have everything yet, but this book will have it all. Check it out on Indiegogo right now. Nick Tockert says, Diana Rigg, Mrs. Emma Peel, like Elvira, helped define my definition of feminine perfection. The Avengers was a love of mine before I even found comics. To the point I confused folks when they asked what my favorite Avenger was. I responded, you can't have Steed without Mrs. Peel. I agree. Although I like all the Avenger girls from Honor Blackman on. Now, there were a couple in that second season I wasn't quite as thrilled with when they were still trying to find someone for Steve. For those of you who don't know, the Avengers, the TV show The Avengers back in the 50s. I can't remember. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it created by Sidney Newman also, who also created Doctor Who? But it originally was not about Steed and Peel. It was about a man, Dr. David Gale, who lost his wife to gangsters. They killed her, and he wants revenge in the worst way. And there is this government agent named John Steed who finds out and says, I will help you avenge her. And they do, and then they decide to fight crime together, the Doctor and the secret agent. Well, after the first season, Ian Hendry, who played the Doctor, but he left the show to develop a career in film. And so they retooled the show to revolve around Steed. And I think it was the third season they brought in Honor Blackman as his companion. And then, but then the show really caught fire after she left when they brought in Diana Rigg. They also achieved American syndication on ABC TV by then. And that's where I saw the show. And I stuck through the Tara King episodes, which were story edited by Terry Nation, who created the Daleks. And those were pretty good. As I get older, I appreciate those shows more and more. My favorite is... Emma Peel's my favorite assistant. My favorite Avengers, though, is the new Avengers with Gareth Hunt, with Patrick McNee, Gareth Hunt, who was also on Doctor Who, and Joanna Lumley, who also played the Doctor. But anyway, those were fantastic. And Brian Clemens was also one of my favorite TV writers, too. But yeah, and Emma Peel made a mark on me too, because not that kind, shut up Christian, but strong female characters, and Emma, she was seemingly widowed. The story was her husband was lost in the Amazon or something like that, and she wanted something to do, so she took up adventuring, but she didn't need Steed. And if there was any sort of romantic thing between them, it was hard to tell. But they had this, you could tell they had this incredible, strong friendship. It wasn't, like each one was trying to get the other into bed. But she didn't need a man. She was self-sufficient. And she was awesome. And she had, incredible good humor and wasn't hard to look at either. So anyway, yeah, I guess she made an impression on me too in my writing. So anyway, Jeffrey Hayes, War on Monster Earth looks amazing. Well, I would say if Jim Beard has any, and James Palmer have anything to do with it, then yeah, two of the best new pulp people around, seriously. And John B. Pica. I am now an official guest for Non-Con 5 on September 26th. I'll be doing an 11 a.m. panel on paranormal touring for the Imaginarium Virtual Con, but doing it in front of the live audience at Non-Con 5. I haven't gotten my schedule yet from Imaginarium. I may be doing my stuff live from there too. Who knows? Anyway, but no, John, I'm glad you're going to be there, man. So John B. Pica will be joining us Saturday only, I understand. Saturday only. But he'll be there along with me, Magi Jake Caretaker, and Amy Hale and Charles F. Millhouse, and more of our peeps to be announced. So please join us at Non-Con 5. There is a event page for it on Facebook, or also check out my profile page as well as John's and Amy Hale's and anyone else going, because this is going to be a fantastic time. I'm really, really looking forward to it. This would be a con that if I weren't a guest there, I would be attending. You know what I'm saying? It looks fantastic. And Phil Thompson has started on the story Origin. Good man, good man. Don't give up, Philip. Don't give up. And by the way, did everyone check out that article on me that showed up yesterday? I'm proud as anything of that thing. It is good to be recognized like that, and I hope there's a message for people. And I know many of you did the same thing I did but it's an article about the My Sharona Miley Cyrus Peter pandemic when it hit. I mean, a lot of authors were like, well, I guess I'm done now. I guess I can't do anything this year. I guess I'm going to have to quit writing. I guess I can't publish anything. And I'm like, hold my beer, roll my pants sleeves and my shirt sleeves, and let's get muddy, And I've been working on a lot of stuff for myself and other publishers. And you're going to start seeing some of it towards the end of the year. It's going to be, I use the time to forward my business, and it's worked, and it is continuing to work because I keep working the system. You can't let up is the problem. So anyway, thank you. But this whole thing, says Carl Witzman, Lulu.com has that fantastic book by Carl Witzman, The Mad Gasser Cheerleader of Calhoun County, in paperback form, and you will enjoy that book. Carl is an amazing wordsmith, and he's just as funny and is insightful on the page as he is in real life. Yes, he is. And there she is, and she's going to be coming back to my Tuesday night show soon. I scroll right past her because I'm an idiot. Anyway, Amy Hale, good morning, Amy. Hope you are doing well this morning. Hope you and the family are doing well. And prayers for Rachel this morning. I hope she gets that job. All right. Anyway, you take care of yourself today and this weekend. All right. And Joe McKeel says, now that it is our official, HoloCon is going virtual on 3 platforms: YouTube, at HoloCon Online, and our website, holocon.com, and our 2 Facebook pages. Joe told me about this. I am so excited. And Joe, we'll talk about my part of it because I think I'm going to be at Non-Con the same weekend. So we're going to make this work. And I already figured out how. I'll take care of you, brother. Anyway, Joe McKeel's got a great convention, and it's going to be different. It is going to be so radically different from a lot of virtual cons that I think Joe is going to start a trend here, and I'm really proud of him. We had a good long talk last week about it, and I'm excited for it. I really am. I will be there. And there he is, the man, the plan, Randy Zimmerman, still drawing monkeys and listening to the Furthermore. Thanks for the morning coffee talk. Hey, not only do I have coffee talk, Randy Zimmerman, my very talented friend, I've also been telling people about this really cool program on Sunday morning.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
What a cool show. I've been watching it, enjoying it, and when he talks about the really old comics, I am so there. Randy, one of these mornings, I am going to invade that show. I really am. Thought it fair to warn you. So anyway, please check out that Saturday morning show, The Sunday Funnies with Randy Zimmerman, a great broadcaster, great guy, and and it does my heart. Sugar and Spike is one of my favorite comics ever. I wouldn't mind getting a complete set of those one day. Well, actually, I have one, but it's digital. You know what I mean? Anyway, DC doesn't reprint those things, and they did that one archive volume, and I got it because I wanted to support it. But man alive, trying to get that thing, get more of those into print. Sugar and Spike, although they did a recent revival of Sugar and Spike by Keith Giffen, I actually enjoyed it. It didn't have the old charm of the original, but it's Sugar and Spike as paranormal investigators in adult form, and it's kind of fun because she's always beating him. She's still beating him up, still pushing him around, still calling him doll boy. It's fun stuff. But please check out the work of Randy Zimmerman. He's an incredible talent, great broadcaster, and a really good guy. I'm glad we have become friends, Randy, and we'll keep promoting that show as long as you keep doing it, my man. Anyway, let's see. And there's Mark Lerner saying good morning from Pemberley. Good morning to you, my friend. And like I said, I got that second envelope from you yesterday. Thank you very much for your service. And David Atkins, the great authors and artists left behind great bodies that we envy to touch, hold, and embrace. They enthrall. And one day somebody will do the same for ours. David, don't stop what you're doing. And huge thanks to Cindy Kep, who taught that Amazon scrambled my files. Oh crap! I heard. Oh, that's right. I heard about that. So the Simple Sword is back and better than ever. So go to Amazon.com and check out the Simple Sword. I've got a copy of that, and it is a fantastic reference volume for anyone who wants to know more about swordplay and sword fighting. It will give your books a sense of realism that just watching TV won't do. Okay, so definitely, if you're a writer and you want to write convincing sword fight scenes and knife fight scenes and anything with a blade, this is the young blade that's got the information for you. So check out Nick Talker. Check out his Historical Fencing Guild tonight on YouTube. Around 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, because it is great. And Nick, he's one of my favorite people. He and Amanda are awesome. And Paul Ruff has a link to his new YouTube channel. Thank you, Paul, for sharing that with us. And I really enjoyed your video. I think I gave it a thumbs up, too, because I will do that. In fact, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And please smash that thumbs up so hard it hurts it. And I want to see that thumb break off. And also, please ring that bell so you'll be notified of our future appearances. And we got a lot of stuff coming up on there. I think you are going to dig. I really do. I really do. And John B. Pica says, Tom Palmer's inks were beautiful on the right artist. Gene Colan in particular. Amen. I wasn't a fan of his inks on John Buscema's work on Avengers, and do not let him anywhere near John Byrne's work. Yeah, I think I've seen Palmer. I want to say Palmer inked a couple of Burns. And the thing is, I talked to John Byrne one time at a show at Mid-Ohio Con. We kind of got to casually know each other at that show. And he said that his two favorite inkers, he did not have a high appreciation of the slicker inkers like Joe Sinnott on Fantastic Four. But you just can't imagine Fantastic Four anymore without Joe Sinnott, right? At least growing up back in the Silver Age like we did. But I liked his Buscema pencils. John was a hard penciler to ruin. You know what I'm saying? And I think I remember transcribing an interview for Alter Ego where he said he liked Palmer's inks on him. His favorite inker, though, aside from his brother Sal, was Frank Giacoia. In fact, he was one of Kirby's favorite inkers too. But yeah, there was just something magical about Palmer's inks, and I still see him popping up occasionally. He just finished inking a run of Scooby Apocalypse at DC, and I know he's still active at Marvel. I'm so glad to see that. But anyway, Byrne kind of liked him because he thought that inkers should capture Byrne's inking style, which was kind of a bit rough and a little bit dirty, if you want to call it that. But his favorite inker was Tony DeZuniga, who inked an issue of Marvel Team Up, the Spider-Man Team Up book. And he said he loved it. He said because that was the closest anyone got to capturing his own inks, but Byrne preferred himself as an inker on his own work. Jake, 16 is too much. Three tricks if someone asks. Well, it depends. If you want to put on a full show, who knows? That's an interesting idea. And Nick Tucker says, comic question, what size digital canvas and what is bleed for standard comic floppies? On this one, I will defer to Eric Hawkins. Eric, if you're still listening, please, I would love to hear an answer, because Eric, when we were putting together the Ghostly Tales of Spencer Spook, Eric was like, get out of the way. Let me do this. Usually bleed on a lot of publications is about 1/4 inch, though. Digital size canvas. Now, I will venture that you can do anything you want as far as digital goes, as long as it is proportional to a regular floppy, which of course has some variations, and you can find some online templates. But it should be at least 300 DPI. I do know that. That's all Eric will let me know. But anyway, Eric, if you're still listening, if nothing else, please contact Nick Tockard and let him know that. I would be interested in what you come up with, Nick. I would. And David Atkins says, the art thrills the eyes, teases the mind as the words caress us, make us tingle, and send small fantasies to our minds that push up against the wall, presses us tight, and penetrates our senses. PG-13 never again on the Nevermind. Anyway, thank you, David, for giving us this glimpse into your twisted psyche, young man, and get help immediately. And Magi Jake says, I'm going to bring 16 because I think I'm going to be there all day. Do you happen to know if they have concessions there? I thought your dad was doing concessions or something. Wasn't he? I would think there will be concessions there. I'm not the person to ask. I have given you all the length and breadth of my information. Contact Jason or Keith, I would say. Contact the promoters. I would love it if they had like some food trucks outside. John was there. I think John Pica was there at Imaginarium the year they had the crepe van outside the Imaginarium. OMG, what a treat. That was great. They had a van outside the Imaginarium book convention in Louisville, Kentucky one year. And it was so good. It was delicious. Fantastic food. And the cooks and I were trading dirty jokes with each other. It was a grand time. And there he is. Hey, are we still alive? Oh, sorry, we're not. Oh, and Silvio's like, well, then why are you responding to me? Silvio, yes, we are live at this point. And if you've got something to promote, like a Kickstarter, now's the time to put in that link, Silvio. Good man. Glad you stayed up for us. And John B. Pica says, a brand new installment of the League of Impossibilists webcomic available today at patreon.com/impossibilists. Check it out. I've been reading that comic and it is awesome. It is good stuff. And there he is. Good morning, Nevermorians. Luke Stone, good to see you. Luke Stone will be on Clever Title Pending this coming Tuesday, but that's not enough for some people. Some people crave funny book entertainment in a collected form. Well, where can we find it?
New from Terraform Comics, Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
All right. So everyone, please, Nevermorians, please support this project. In fact, give all of the links here for the crowdfunding efforts that you see on here. Give it a look. All right. Because there's some great creativity going on. And these guys and gals need your help. And I'd love it if the Nevermorians rose up and helped them all out. All right. So check it out. Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Check out the Hybrids, the Sons of God's Trades paperback. I want my holofoil cover. Dang it. Anyway, Cindy Kemp says, Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Mwah, CKOEPP.com. You can sign up for the best newsletter in the business there. Great stuff. And I hope to finish editing your script in the next day or two, Cindy. And Trevor Hawkins says, don't forget Joanna Lumley's Purdy. Oh, dear God, how could I? I always loved, they had like 2 or 3 introductions to the show, and you heard the classic Avengers theme at first before they went into a brand new piece of music by Ron Grainer, who did The Prisoner and Doctor Who. Everything's Doctor Who. But anyway, it started out with Joanna standing there in this, nice paisley, delicate dress, and she's standing there like this, and then, and you hear the classic Avengers opening, da 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 da, and she goes from this to a karate stance just before the lights fade. It's if you can find the new Avengers, it is every bit as good as the original Avengers. And Purdy was amazing. And the chemistry she and Gareth Hunt had was unmistakable. It was so good. And thank you for reminding me of that, Trevor. And Silvio Spotty, good morning to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well today. And worst part of working is sometimes not being able to respond to things on here, says Rick Bradley. A look of unrequited horror would probably suffice. Cindy Kemp says, what's better than Avengers? Brian K. Morris's books on Smashwords. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. And also check out Cindy's work on Amazon.com and BearPublications.com. Check out her brand new book, Animal Eye. And check out for interesting new spin-offs from that, too. Hence my vague booking. And New Avengers. Yes, New Avengers. I think I like the New Avengers better than the original. But Emma Peel's irreplaceable. All right. And I'm live on Kickstarter, says Silvio Spotty, with Sword of Justice #2. Please go and check out his book. And it's a 100% action-packed book. Those are the best kind. And Silvio showed me some of the art. Ooh, MG, it is good. It's a good-looking book there, Silvio. You done good. And there is that link to the Kickstarter. Please check that out. All right. Thank you, Silvio, for doing that. I appreciate you being here, my friend. And also to be found on Amazon, Brian K. Morris. That's true. And please check out my work. I would appreciate it. It helps support things like this show. And also, if you can, you'll notice a QR code in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Please flash on that with your phone, and you'll be whisked magically to the land of Amazon, where you can order my books. We have about 7 of them out. And we have horror, we have humor, we have contemporary fantasy, and even one nonfiction one on why you should and must be writing reviews. It helps us so much. And why we authors should keep asking for them. It helps us a lot. All right. Thank you, Cindy. You're the best. David Atkins, art is the motivation that makes us thirst to touch them, hold them, tickle their edges, and be engulfed by their eyes, their smile, and their skin. The palette shines while reflecting their colors. Oh, that's more PG-13. Thank you, David. Plus, I don't need a cold shower now. But now I do. Again, I do need a cold shower. There's Sarah. Sarah, mwah! Hi there. Watching on my phone today. Well, I hope even in my tiny size state, we are still entertaining, and I love the out of you. Okay? Still do. Hasn't changed. In fact, more. So there. Anyway, Eden Falls, says Rick Radley, a small town with a secret almost as old as time. Marvin will discover there is more to this world than meets the eye. Order the introduction to Rick Radley's Eden Falls trilogy, Marvin's Night Out, right now on Amazon in paperback and digital format. Check out the link. Check out the very talented Rick Bradley. All right. And Michaela Jade, thank you, Carl. Oh, wasn't that sweet of him? always, Michaela Jade. Oh, yeah. And, yep, you are in my pocket today. That's okay. Today is payday. Ooh, money and Carl and Brian in her pocket. Look out, world. Hide, everyone, Peoria. Lock your doors. Michaela's coming to town. And Joe McKeel, that article yesterday was awesome. Thank you, Joe McKeel. For those of you who don't know what Joe is talking about, yesterday on my page, oh wonder, an article was done for me, and I'm going to get the exact name of it for you right now. As my slow as hell computer tries to find the screen. Sorry, folks. Well, anyway, we'll let it perk while I get to your comments. We got to catch up, don't we? And speaking of strong female characters, Disney's Mulan is a great retelling of the historical legend. Too bad Disney has done an abysmal job of informing casual fans of why it is so different from that animated abomination. I liked Mulan, the cartoon. That was good. I am looking forward to seeing the live action one, though. I think I will enjoy it. I admit I'm kind of iffy about the live action versions. I'm the only one of the, like some of these family films that I've seen that I can recall. Pete's Dragon. I love the original with Mickey Rooney and Helen Reddy. That was a great Disney film. But I saw the remake. Carl Urban is the only good thing in there. Of course, I love Carl Urban. He is Judge Dredd. He is the law. But it was a horrible story. And all of the characters seemed forced, and the whole story seemed forced. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we've got to make this thing happen, so let's push the plot in that direction. Come hell or high water. And I just really did not enjoy it at all. Again, except for Carl Urban's performance. Because Carl is he's just an amazing actor. I love him in Star Trek, too. I've not seen him in anything I didn't like. In fact, I've seen little glimpses of him in The Boys, and that's been fun in a dark sort of way. But holy cats, I got to catch up with your comments here. Johnny Pica, and fans who don't understand their own fandom really piss me off. Yeah, same here. I've had a belly full of the entitled ones, the ones who, and I'm seeing a lot of it now. I'm a little tired of toxic fandom. I'm more than tired. I'm well over toxic fandom. And I am also over retailers who are screaming that the sky is falling because DC has finally wised up to the idea that, there's a larger world out there than this rapidly diminishing demographic of people who demand all of the company's attention. And I think it's time to piss some store owners off and make them either get better at their game or and find a way to make money off of what the company is doing. And DC, their new general manager, who's not doing any of this on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. God bless him. He's doing it all on LinkedIn to keep the trolls at bay, because trolls don't go there mostly. But anyway, he issued a statement a couple days ago. I've started watching a network on YouTube called Comics by Perch, Perch, and it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. But he had a good commentary yesterday about the guy's initial statement about how he's looking to reach out to a more diverse world who want to read the iconic characters and the new characters that DC will come up with. And I'm thinking, the problem with the way one of the reasons that comics have shrunk, their audience has shrunk, is that they just keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Einstein's definition of insanity. So anyway, we could would anyone be interested in me doing a YouTube show on comics? I'm going to put that out there. Would you attend? Would you be part of it? Cindy kept tuning into the Historical Fencing Guild tonight at 7 p.m. Central and hang out with Nicholas Tockert. I love hanging out with that guy. Support your local swordmaster, where he will teach you how to kill people safely. And John B. Pica, 2020 has been an amazing year for me creatively. There we go. Yeah, if anything, it inspires me to keep going. I mean, I have down days. Yesterday was kind of a down day for me. I didn't get much done. But today I am fired up again and ready to work on Doc Saga a little bit. Going to work on some things for people to rewrite. I was going to do it myself, but now I think I'm going to send the big pieces back out. We're going to make this book good, and I know when the stories I'm reading so far is like, ooh la la. Oh, we got a lot good to work with. And Rick Bradley, if I can publish my first solo book during this pandemic, then the pros can too. You got that right, man. I am waiting to get my stuff out. I really am. And MSMCPP should be your reference for my Sharona Miley Cyrus Peter pandemic. Folks love initials. Yeah, I saw something this morning, actually. Somebody had put up a meme about you should make your password 133555566 or something like that. But anyway, it's like 1 2. Then you can tell people, you want to know my password? It's 1 2 3 4 5. But it's 1 1 2 3s. And on up the line. So anyway, now I told you how to get into everyone's third. I figured just start with the password is password. Now I'm thinking of Alan Lunn. The password is password. Ding. Okay. Anyway, Sarah says, I'm off the phone and on YouTube now. Hello, YouTubers. Mwah! There's Sarah enjoying the higher quality sound and picture on YouTube. And please, while you're there, please subscribe to my page. Again, please hit that thumbs up on my video, and please share that video on your social platform if you would. Also, ring that bell so you'll be notified of our future appearances. And Carl Wisman says, snuggles down into Michaela's pocket. And Sarah, Carl. Michaela J says, my oldest kid is in college. He was 18 months old when the towers fell, and I was in my college class when we heard the news. Yeah. Like I said, we all know where we were if we were there that day. Cindy Kep's strong female characters, find them here at Cindy Kep's page on Amazon. Definitely check out her work. It is amazing. I love it. I really do. I've read it. Jobby Pika, Joe, I still want to participate. Panels. And you can recycle my show from 2 years ago. There we go. Repurposing. That's what we call it now. And there needs to be a story, says David Atkins, of a man who finds the remains of Dracula and removes the blessed stake that killed him, removes and revives Dracula, and reveals why he was born to curb the populace. I think I've seen that somewhere before. I think it was a B movie or something. So, but I think I've seen it, but revisit it. Gonna go on Photoshop and do line tracing and fill in the color in the characters. What do you think? Do it, Philip Thompson. Whatever will make that book better and better and better. Make that cover pop when it sits on the stand. Remember, Philip, here's a guide. You want to be able to see that book should attract your attention from a dozen feet away. All right, and should cry out to you as opposed to all the books around it. Keep that in mind as you create. Brian, congrats on your article. Thank you, Jeffrey Hayes. I appreciate that. Well-deserved recognition. Thank you twice. Perseverance is difficult for many. Great, positive, forward-moving attitude. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jeffrey. I sincerely do. And you've got to have it. Because that's one of the reasons I'm tired of the toxicity. And I'm going to do my part as an independent creator to dispel as much of that as possible. And if I got to leave some toxics behind, their loss. Anyway, Sarah, it was nice to see you on Indie Volt the other day, Michaela. Yes, Michaela was on Geekgasm the other night with Meredith Logren and some other great guests, and it was good to see her there. I really enjoyed it. And Brian K. Morris, non-con is the end of September. HoloCon is the end of October. I am everywhere, John. Time means nothing to me. I am a Time Lord. I walk in eternity, okay? And I barely know it's today is Monday. Anyway, Silvio Spotty, do they still publish Cherry Pop-Tart? I wish they did. I loved that comic. That was so funny. Larry Welts. And it was kind of like an X-rated version of Betty and Veronica and Archie. It was a fun title. I liked it. Another one I liked from that time, another adult book, was Xenophile. XXXENOPHILE. It was Phil Folio. Remember Phil and Dixie from Dragon Magazine? And he wrote and drew, wrote and penciled some adult fun stories, and some were fantasy, some were contemporary, some were superhero, some were historical, and there was one that actually Cookie and I loved. And I don't want to tell this. I don't want to tell the plot of it, but it is. I guess I can boil it down to the conceiving of the Antichrist, and that's what the story revolves around. And we met Phil Folio on our delayed honeymoon at Chicago Con one year, and he had the splash page to that very story, and we bought it. We were trying to get the last page though, but the inker of that story got that page, and he couldn't understand why we wanted the last page of a story more than the splash page, but we were so glad to get it. Plus, sometime I got to get it. It's somewhere around here, but I've got Phil Folio a picture of Superman, the first he ever drew. But anyway, the story ends with God saying, "Deviant and unrepentant, I guess you showed me," with a big grin. That was our story. That was our special story. Magi Jake, if you want shirts, I got small to 3XL. Every shirt below 2XL is 7. Above 2XL is 9. Very cool. And Randy Zimmerman, you are always welcome on Sunday Funnies, Brian. Let's do that soon. I agree, Randy. I will have to make that a date. I will. If I'm not sleeping in from Saturday night, you know what a wild life some of us older comic fans lead. Anyway, Randy, thank you for the invitation. I will take you up on it, my friend, and soon. And DC Claymore, Brian, my friend, nice to see you again. DC Claymore, Claymore Adventures, good to see you as always. Hope your day is going well. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend. And the Zon, as its friends call it, have Mindstorm by Cindy Kapp on sale for only $2. Read about how Dr. Kala Geisman takes on a telepath far stronger than she is. You want that. You need it. So get that book right now on Amazon. Please check it out. And there she is, our giantess. Good morning, Nevermorians. Mwah. Meredith Lawgren, a great broadcaster, great friend, great everything. She is instrumental in making this show look even as slick as I am trying to make it. Anyway, Meredith, love you. Haven't talked to you too much in the ages. Been busy too. But Meredith is a busy broadcasteress, and check out her shows. I love the Geeky Freaky show. I really do. And now everybody's going, huh? And I saw you on Geekgasm the other night. That was fun. Anyway, check out what she does, and especially check out I had it blanked out on the name of your morning show. Please check wildoneforever.com. Check out Wild One Forever, the daily weekday podcast of Meredith Lawgren. It and coffee are the best way to start your day. And Michaela Jade says, thank you, Sarah. And DC Claymore has a link to that ClaymoreAdventures.com. You must check it out because it is awesome, as is he. Michaela Jade, is that what I felt in my pocket? Hello, Carl. And Carl, he sure does. And John B. Pica, Joe Sinnott, Inc. Burns' final issue of Amazing Spider-Man, and it was gorgeous. I agree. I loved Sinnott's ink on Burn. I really did enjoy it. Dave Hunt was also a very good inker on him, and Kurt Schaffenberger. And I got to interview Dave Hunt one time. Fantastic gentleman. And he actually left comics and went into fine art, which was kind of cool. But he was really good and quite opinionated. I got a number of stories from him that I can't print anywhere. Anyway, Sarah says, you're welcome, Michaela. Great time. It was. And Cindy Cap says, Drats, I'm out of break again. What's going on with this out of break stuff? I'll catch up with you all later. In the meantime, check out Matt Ostrom's snazzy artwork. He did art on half of her published works at mattostrom.com. He is a fantastic artist. Please give that man a little bit of attention there. And thank you, Cindy. Mwah. We'll be talking to you. Have a fantastic weekend, hun. Good to see you. And with digital, says John B. Pica, the standard has gone out the window. With some people, you see, that's the problem with the democratization of the creative process, that it used to be that only big business had the secrets to do anything, but now we all have those secrets. They're not secret anymore, and it lets a lot of people in who, even though they're fantastic, probably would never get a second glance at the mainstream, but we can still express ourselves, still make some folding money on it too. But the problem is there's a lot of people out there who think they're the next John Byrne or Jack Kirby or Jacqueline Suzanne or whomever. I'm just trying to be the next Brian K. Morris. I hear he's okay. But I want to keep my goals within my reach. But yeah, that's the thing. And the thing is, I'd rather have no one guarding the standards. I hate gatekeepers, and I'm finding that the people who, yes, and I have to do it because of my own company. I have to be a gatekeeper. I will admit it. But it's kind of funny how the people who protest the loudest that I am not a gatekeeper usually prove to be. The Who were right. And new cover page with fonts, okay. And Philip Thompson doesn't know how to use story origin fully yet. Well, you keep learning, Philip. We keep running the play. It's like football. You keep running the play till you get it right. You will get this, my friend. You will get this. And regular size floppy penetrates our senses. Ha! Says Sarah, who's running for the cold shower now. But Carl says, no, drink. And yep, says Sarah. And Silvio Spotty, Brian, inbox me your P.O. box, please. What, my physical address or my email or what? Send me a direct message on Facebook telling me what you want, Silvio, and I'll try to do it, okay? And Jake, you don't understand how cons work. John, I think you need to have an offline conversation with this man. And yes, the crepe truck was amazing. Yes, wasn't it though? OMG, I think I had my first meal there like Friday night, and I went back like every meal I could for the rest of the weekend. I was a little disappointed when they worked there Sunday. I went back over and over. You and me both, brother, man. They made their nut off of us, that's for sure. And tune in to Nevermind the Furthermore on YouTube and hit that subscribe button, because it's one thing. I have no gravitas whatsoever, but you're listening now to Meredith Lawgren. She doesn't have to say stuff like that, but she does. Hey, Meredith, we just passed 120 subscribers. Yay! Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. We hope to never let you down. In fact, we will up our output, so to speak, and bring you some fresh material that you're probably not going to see originate on here. So there is your clue right there. Plus, we're working on our Patreon page so that we can offer you some even more cool things, like our first draft flash novel. In fact, I was working on a chapter of that this morning, and it's coming together because Tim is being chased by an amazing stranger who seems to be able to run on air. I wonder how. Anyway, because Tim is part of a dark, dark secret. Anyway, we've posted the first chapter of that on our page, and hope that you'll join us one day. We will have an official launch soon of our Patreon page, all right? But thank you, Meredith. I love you. We got to talk soon. I miss you. And Philip Thompson says, the cover I showed you, it was color pencil. I thought so. But you can beef that up through Photoshop is the thing. I know a number of people who use Photoshop too. They lay down basic colored pencil or crayon level. Some people still work in crayons, and then enhance it with Photoshop. Magi Jake says, I'm new to cons. Like my dad isn't doing concessions. We're bringing water and pop for a snack, and we're going to the con after church. Okay, cool. That's right. You said you'd be there at noon on Sunday. I will be there every flipping minute I can. So I don't want to miss out on nothing. And I figure if nothing on Sunday morning, I'm going to hang out with my friends, which is the main reason I'm doing it. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for non-con, and then we're going to be doing we're still doing a number of virtual cons. So it's going to be challenging, but we'll get it done. And who does the voice for hybrids? It's perfect. I think it's Luke. But he ran it through like a program to change the pitch of his voice. I think you can do that through Audacity. So, yeah, he did a great job on that. He really did. And speaking of great jobs, there's the illustrator Ed Williams. Good to see you. Good morning, Brian. How are you and everyone watching? #inspiration. Well, yeah, Ed, we hope you find it here. Thank you, sir, for showing up. And Ed was on Clever Tile Pending. Last couple of Clever Tile Pendings as part of our audience. It was good to have you, Ed. And we hope you'll make us a habit, man. It's good to see you. You showing up here is an inspiration to us too. And this is what it's about. That's what my article was about. And it finally came up. There we go. Oh, I'm live on the air. Would you imagine that? And I'm still live. Holy cats! And I'm still live. Wow. And here we go. And ballyhoomagazine.com. I am the lead feature on the literary page, and I was on the front page of the whole dang thing yesterday. Wow, I was surprised when that happened. But anyway, I think it was a very good art. I think it was a very well written article, and it's all about how I managed to not just survive but thrive through the Peter pandemic. So hope everyone catches that. All right, and send a note to them. Tell them you love me and you want more of me. Anyway, Johnny Pika, that question about cherry Pop-Tarts still being published sent me on a Google hunt. Oh my! Yes, you should know by now, John. If we you might want to ask first before you go out on Google in search of various things you hear on this show. Otherwise, you may wind up like this poor man who Googled dino porn one fine morning and was horrified by what he saw. And now poor Christian Basil despairs for humanity, as well he should. So anyway, Carl Wisman says, Sarah, come on tonight to chat with us. Yes, please. And there's Molly Daniels. Morning, all. Molly, good to see you. Hey, have you made any progress on coming to NonCon? We'd love to have you there. And sounds good, Carl says, Sarah. Well, then I will attempt to be there as well. I hope that doesn't discourage you, Sarah. Amy Hill, cover reveal for Neurosis. Her brand new book is tomorrow. Oh, that's going to be a sight. I'm looking forward to that, Amy. And Amy, feel free to share any information you've got on it on both my profile page and on the Rising Tide Publications page. All right, please. You have a blanket invitation on. And Carl Witzman, Molly joins the Naughty Cool Kids on YouTube. There we go. And Molly, for all that compliment, mocks Carl Witzman with her laughter. But yeah, YouTube does have a better picture and better sound quality than Facebook does. And like I said, I hope everyone's enjoying the sound, because we kind of played around with our microphone yesterday. No, that's not a euphemism. Drink anyway. But yeah, that's what we did. And hopefully it sounds better today. We're always trying to improve around here, give you a better viewing and listening experience. And boy, howdy, you people are gabby today. I love it. Anyway, Brian Rodman, the Peter pandemic actually encouraged me to double down on my creative endeavors. Yes! Times like these, people need good art more than ever. That's how we as creators fight this thing. Exactly. Like I said in the article, I went, at the time I had 2 morning shows and 1 evening show. I switched temporarily to 1 evening show and 7 daily broadcasts. And that wore me out after a time. And finally, once we started coming out of lockdown, I eased up on the broadcasting to our current 4-time-a-week schedule. But I got a lot of high marks for just taking people's minds off of things for an hour or two. And that's where we as creators can benefit humanity. I mean, we don't have to create we don't have to be the next Shakespeare. We don't have to create the next War and Peace. But it's enough to entertain. It's more than enough to entertain. You're doing the work of the angels that way, I think. Carl Westman said the link Brian is looking for is ballyhoomagazine.com. Author Brian K. Morris independently weathers the COVID crisis. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it. Please check out that article. I'm very pleased with it. I hope you will be too. And I hope you get a little bit of inspiration for it on those days you're feeling down, all right? Wondering whether you can make a difference or not. Live action version of Mulan is only available on Pay Through the Nose Disney Channel, says Carlene. Well, actually, for a lot of families, the temporary rental online is actually can be cheaper. You take a family, say you've got the usual nuclear family. By the time you buy concessions and get in through the door, 48 hours of watching Mulan over and over and over again, as much as you want during the rental period, that's a savings right there. It works out in the long run. I'll wait for the DVD. Molly Daniels, I enjoyed the animated Mulan. I did too. Mushu, haha. Looking forward to the new one. And yes, Brian, I enjoyed that article also. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate your appreciation. Thank you so much. And Ed Williams has got to get back to work. Have a great day, everyone. #inspiration. #thank you, Ed. And you have a fantastic weekend, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. And Brian Rodman says, did anyone see that Don Bluth is launching a new animation studio to bring in, quote, a renaissance of hand-drawn animation, unquote? I saw that. That made my heart beat glad. I'm so excited about this. Claws on Netflix was a beautiful example of what hand-drawn animation can be today. Well, the thing is, Brian, I don't mention him enough on here, but I'm friends with Philo Barnhart, who is a second-generation Disney Hanna-Barbera Filmation animator, and he does hand animation still. And in fact, he worked for Don Bluth on The Secret of Nim and the two video games that Don Bluth had out in the 80s in the arcades. Who remembers those, huh? Who lost a lot of quarters to those things? Anyway, but yeah, this is a good time. Hand-drawn animation will never really go away. I'm glad to say there's something lovely about that organic artistic style that I really hope never goes away. And Molly Daniel says, my daughter got a year free subscription to Disney Plus when she ordered something last spring. That's how I was finally able to see Hamilton. Oh, there you go. Good. Your kids are taking care of you. This is good to see, rather than kicking you out in the cold. Anyway, Trevor Hawkins, yes, to show about comics. Cool. All right, we may have to do that. And then Rick Riley, I'd watch your show on comics, definitely. That's cool. We talk about mostly older stuff. Speaking of which, if you like the animation cell illustration style, go no further than the horror fantasy comic series Memoirs of an Angel. And I know there's more there. And go to Brian Rodman's website, which he's going to post soon, isn't he? And Meredith Longren says, hi, Sarah. I think Luke did the voice for the Hybrids video. The magic of Audacity, perhaps? Yeah, Luke told me that's, I believe he said he used Audacity, but that's definitely his voice. And I bought a program, or I'm actually paying for a subscription on a program I'm going to be unveiling soon that we got to learn how to use it, but it's going to help a lot. We'll let you know as soon as it comes out. Anyway, Memoirs of an Angel. It's like Lord of the Rings meets The Exorcist and has that 80s and 90s animation feel to the art style. I'll agree with that. It really does. And looking forward to you putting the link into that your work. All right. And love Audacity. So do I, Carl. I wish I could find a video one that was that easy to use. Audacity, for those of you who don't know, is a free app you can download onto almost any platform. And it is a very, the best way I describe it, it is you can edit audio the way that Word or OpenOffice edits manuscripts. It's like cut, paste. It's a joy. And you can also do various alterations to your voice and the tempo and everything through Audacity. Again, it is a free download, and so check it out. A lot of us use it, and it's a great asset. It really is. Molly Daniels, I finally finished typing up my Defending Your Life story and began a new Rockstar one yesterday. Not any one of the 3 works in progress I should be working on. Oh, Lord, I know. I was doing my, like I said this morning, I was working on my first draft flash fiction novel this morning, and it's like I should be working on Doc Saga. I should be working. I got to get rewrites out and etc. etc. And here I sit. Anyway, Carl Westman, someone should write a book about Audacity. Oh wait, I did, and we'll share the link on Facebook. Yeah, that would be a good thing. I mean, we all don't. I probably use maybe 10% of what that thing can do. And it's like I talked to somebody one day who used to train for Microsoft. He said most Microsoft applications, your expert users, your super users probably only use 10% of it. The average one uses 5 to 7% of the capability, the full capability of any Microsoft product. So Joe McKeel is going on audio. Got to start remolding the HaloCon studio. Yes, HaloCon. Check it out at the end of October. It is going to be amazing. And Brian Rodman, I would absolutely love to jump in on a Brian K. Morris comic book show. I would love to be a part of it and support it any way I can. Brian, thank you so much. Let's consider doing it. Maybe we can do a YouTube thing, all right, and see where it goes from there. All right. Getting down to the sludge in my coffee. And Carl Witzman, if you want an older book on Audacity, check out Lulu.com by Carl Witzman, who used to write several books on various technical things. So please check out the work of Carl Witzman. And even old Audacity works great. In fact, I never updated my version that I had on one of my old laptops for the duration of it. And I had one laptop for 6 years. So to find Memoirs of an Angel, go to brianrodman.com/comics. Enjoying the adventure today. Definitely. This is if it has any strength, any pull whatsoever, it gets a Rising Tide Publications endorsement. Seriously, that is I read the first couple issues. That is fantastic stuff. It really is. And Brian, I'd be very proud of that because I'm proud of you. Meredith Logren says, I am looking for existing shows, comics creators, writers, filmmakers, and more who delve into the dark and spooky, crime and underground for Indie Event in November. Well, I think I'm going to be one of them. I do that occasionally. So anyway, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Check in with Meredith Logren and get you a slot on Indie Event, or I will probably be doing at least one show, maybe a couple, depending on how many volunteers you get. But I could do a couple clever title pendings, and maybe we'll have one to be on. The last one we did for the Indie Event was an eye opener with Russell Allen of Russ Explodes Studio and ZenonNightTitan.com. Great show. Great inspirational show. John B. Pica says, David Atkins, look for Nightreich. Releasing soon. That's exactly what happens in that story. Okay, I knew I saw it somewhere. And somebody I saw somewhere, and I'm glad to have it back, is Ted Van Son. Hello, sir. Hello to you, Ted. How are you this morning? Hope you're looking forward to a great weekend, my man. Glad to see you here. It makes me happy to see you back. And Carl Wisman Meredith, if I don't do something on Brian's show, I'd be happy to do a coffee show about writing dark stuff. That would be cool. And maybe even on YouTube. Yeah, definitely. And I could talk about, if we're going dark, I could talk about my Bachelor's Grove book, because that was a dark book, because it also encompasses like Kickstarter and promising less and delivering more. Molly Daniels says, I'll be doing my PenCon virtual signing Monday morning from 11:15 to 11:30 a.m. This should be interesting. Also planning to get someone to cover my shift on Friday the 25th for NonCon. Yes, we want you at NonCon. Amy, Charles, John, and Jake will be there, and hopefully some more. So we're gonna have a grand time. It's mostly so we can see each other, for the love of God. Anyway, Nick Tockert says, I am doing a bunch of new art for some projects coming up, including some new fantasy characters. So be sure to follow him at deviantart.com/Nick T. Oh yeah. And Molly Daniels says, I want to drive to Cincinnati in the daytime, not arrive after midnight. Yeah, we probably will be getting there at O'Dark 100, given Cookie's work schedule. We have yet to formalize the logistics of it. We are going to be getting a room, though, for Saturday going into Sunday. We're going to spend one night down there. But anyway, Jeffrey Hayes says, Dragon Magazine, you are waking up brain cells from my younger years. Great art and articles. Fun stuff. Yeah. And, I'll give you another one. Bill Willingham, the writer of Fables, who used to do another of my favorite comic series, Elementals. He was it? I remember those old illustrations he used to do for the TSR ads in the comics and on in Dragon Magazine. Yeah, and we've got like most Dragon Magazine. They released a Dragon Magazine on disc a number of years ago. We still have it somewhere, so I got to go through that again. I want to reread them now. And Meredith Logren says, Wild One Forever is coming back after a little summer break on September 21st. Morning anecdotes, inspiration, positive things. Thanks for shouting it out, Brian. Meredith, always, darling. And when that comes back, Meredith, I want you to promote it on my page and on the Rising Tide Publications page. Now, if you've always got an invitation to do that. And if anybody else wants to, please approach me. Although occasionally I get somebody that says, here's my thing. That's nice. Good luck. I got one yesterday, but fortunately I know the guy, so I told him he could do a promote. But anyway, most of the time I get a lot of people say, hey, here's this thing. That's nice. Hey, good luck with it. It's like, if you can't be nice enough to even say hello. And Molly Daniels, even my teen enjoyed the crepe truck. Oh, that's right. He did. Man, that crepe truck was a winner. That really was. And, if next year when we get Imaginarium back, I think I've already started lobbying with Stephen and Holly about getting that truck back. Show up for the books, stay for the food. Anyway, Carl Witzman, an hour and 45 before Dino Porn was mentioned. That's a record. Yeah, how do we wait that long, right? And we are closing in on 2 hours, so I better speed up here. John B. Pica, we split the $29.99 for Mulan between 8 people, less than $5 a piece. See? A bargain. You can get these bargains. Amy Hale says, gotta run. Rachel has a job interview, so keep your fingers crossed. Tell Rachel we love her. We're sure she's nailed it, man. Keep us posted. Love you, Amy. Love you, Rachel. Mwah. Good luck, Rachel. Break their legs. Molly Daniels, who mentioned dino porn? I missed it. Well, dino porn may not be said, but it lives in our hearts. Carl Wisman, Brian mentioned it. Hashtag it's Brian's fault. Yeah, I did it. And hashtag it's always Brian's fault. Yes, it is. Somebody's got to own up to it, and it might as well be me. John B. Bikus says, Meredith Lawler, check out my ghost stories at talesfromtheflipside.com. Yeah, those are great, John. Seriously, those are so cool. I love reading those stuff. I love your podcast. I really do. I don't tell you enough. And so sometimes characters surprise us. Doing design for my version of Mob. Turns out she doesn't wear clothes. And I used to hear, this is funny, I knew someone that knew this one artist who was very prominent at DC and Marvel. DC in the 50s and 60s, Marvel from the late 60s to early 90s, I think. And of course, I don't want to say who it is, rhymes with Mim Junie. And but when this person was drawing a certain Maid of Steel, he used to pencil the female characters naked. Or at least do the layouts for them. Of course, then he would draw the clothes on. Of course, he inked his own work, so it was all right. But the editors knew that this was just his way of doing things. But anyway, you get through the job. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes. And Molly Daniel says, my ghosts are friendly. Spencer Spook is friendly until provoked. That's my ghost. And the story I have for Charles has dinosaurs. Rick Bradley, we'll be asking you about that later, but video or it didn't happen. So anyway, after 2 hours, almost to the mark, we have reached the end of your comments finally. You had some great comments. You people are on fire this morning. We appreciate each and every one of you that are watching us, whether it's on the Facebook Geek Insider or their YouTube parallel, also on IndieVent and the Rising Tide Publications page, and as well as me on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, again, please, we just passed 120 people on there. So if you're watching this, whether it's live or on the rerun, and you haven't subscribed yet, I would sincerely appreciate it if you do subscribe. My next goal is 500 people because I get a perk then. And when I get a perk, things just have a way of happening that make everything better for all of us. So please check it out. All right. And thank you all for being here. We're going to close out with some spots and then our usual closing. Thanks to Meredith Lawgren. Also, don't forget to check out Ballyhoo Magazine in their literary section this morning. I am on the lead page of the literary section. Yesterday, I was on the front page and first item on the whole dang site. And what a thrill that was. And it is an article about how I have managed to make the COVID work for me, not against me, in terms of my business. And hopefully you'll get some tips in there that you can use in building your business. And a public shout out, thank you, Kadrosha Onakarol, for your assistance in that. She was a huge inspiration, taught me a lot about writing a great press release, and she's just been a joy, and I love her to death. And we got to get her back on Clever Title Pending too one of these days too. So anyway, we are going to close out the show. Let's get out that script. You don't think we did this unassisted, did you? Au contraire, mon friends. Anyway, thank you all for watching the Friday 9/11/2020 edition of Clever Title Pending. Please keep the people who gave their lives and who lost their lives from that time in your thoughts and prayers, and because a lot of people are still dealing with the aftermath of that. And please make this a better day for somebody else. Give someone else a smile because you don't know who needs it. because they may be hurting and unable to tell anyone. So anyway, please join us next week. We'll be coming back on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central Time with another episode of Clever Title Pending. Be sure to check out our website, risingtide.pub. You'll see a list of our publications as well. You'll as having an opportunity to sign up for our free monthly newsletter where we tell you all about what we're doing at Rising Tide Publications, our personal appearance schedule, our virtual con schedule, as well as guest editorials, occasional book discounts, 2 secret links, inspirational quotations, and also motivation, education, and inspiration, all in one monthly package. Please sign up for that newsletter. I would appreciate that. And if you're watching on YouTube, as we've said over and over again till you're vomiting from it, please subscribe to this channel and please hit that bell so you're notified of future broadcasts on there. And also please give this video a big thumbs up. And especially every time you give this a thumbs up, an angel gets its wings. You don't want any angels splattering against the ground. It's icky. Anyway, also, if you're watching us on Facebook, please check out the Rising Tide Publications page where we broadcast this program. And please give that a like. We've got about almost 2,200 people. We're this close to reaching 2,200. We'd love it if you were one of them. All right. And in closing, let me set up the next shot here, and everyone just talk amongst yourselves while I get the video lined up, okay? Anyway, folks, thank you all for watching us the last 2 hours. We hope you had an amazing Friday, and we hope your weekend is even better, all right? So in closing, remember, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Thank you for being here on Nevermind the Furthermore. We'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
New from Terraform Comics, Hybrids, The Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
Ooh, that's made my nibbies hard.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at geekinsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends, because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.
So let's go.
Ooh.
Oh.
My nippies got hard.